Have you ever wondered how pregnancy was detected in ancient times? Let's start with the ancient Egyptians, who had a fascinating method involving grains. This method, with its roots firmly planted in the fertile soil of the Nile, was quite ingenious and surprisingly effective. The ancient Egyptians, known for their advanced medical knowledge, developed a pregnancy test that involved barley and wheat grains. This knowledge is recorded in two precious papyri, the Carlsberg and the Berlin Papyrus, that date back to the New Kingdom era. The test required a woman to urinate separately on two piles of grains. The grains' responses were then observed for signs of germination. These grains weren't chosen randomly, mind you. The barley was believed to predict the birth of a male child if it sprouted, while the wheat was associated with the birth of a female child. And if neither of the grains sprouted, it was taken as a sign that the woman was not pregnant. Now, you might be raising an eyebrow at this, but hold on to your skepticism for a moment. A laboratory experiment conducted in the year 1963 provided some fascinating insights. The experiment revealed that the urine of pregnant women caused the grains to sprout about 70% of the time. On the other hand, the urine from non-pregnant women and men did not result in the grains sprouting. In a time before ultrasounds and blood tests, these ancient Egyptians were onto something. They had found a way to not only detect a pregnancy, but even predict the gender of the future child, using just grains and urine. While it's not exactly a foolproof method by today's standards, it's still impressive for those times. Isn't it intriguing how the ancient Egyptians used such a simple method for detecting pregnancy? They turned to the earth and its produce, using what was readily available to them. Their ingenuity and understanding of the natural world truly leave us in awe. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through the annals of history, uncovering more fascinating methods of pregnancy detection. Moving forward in time, we land in ancient Greece, where they used rather unusual ingredients to detect pregnancy. The Greeks had some interesting methods at their disposal, one of which involved the humble onion. Yes, you heard right, an onion. The test required a woman to insert an onion into her vagina overnight. The following morning, if her breath smelled of onions, it was concluded that she was not pregnant. This unusual test was based on the ancient Greek belief that a non-pregnant woman's womb was unobstructed, allowing the scent of the onion to travel up to her mouth. Conversely, they believed that the womb of a pregnant woman was sealed, preventing the scent from rising. It's a peculiar idea by today's standards, but it was taken quite seriously back then. There was even a variation of this test that involved the application of perfumed linen to the genitals. If the scent could be detected on the woman's breath the next day, it suggested she was not pregnant. But onions and perfumes were not the only tools in the Greek pregnancy detection toolbox. The legendary physician Hippocrates proposed another method. He suggested that a woman drink a mixture of honey and water before bedtime. If she experienced bloating and cramps during the night, it was a sign that she was pregnant. This test, like the onion one, was based on the belief that a woman's body underwent certain changes during pregnancy that affected digestion. The sweet honey water concoction was thought to stimulate these changes, resulting in discomfort if the woman was indeed pregnant. It's fascinating to think of how our ancestors used the resources available to them to understand the mysteries of the human body. From grains in ancient Egypt to onions and honey in ancient Greece, these early pregnancy tests were the precursors to the sophisticated methods we have today. The ancient Greeks certainly had a unique approach to pregnancy detection, didn't they? Now, let's step into the Middle Ages, a time when piss prophets claimed to predict pregnancy by simply observing urine. During this era, the art of uroscopy, or urine examination, became a popular method for diagnosing various ailments, including pregnancy. The so-called piss prophets would examine the color, smell, and even taste of a woman's urine to decipher whether she was expecting. Some would even go a step further, claiming they could predict the gender of the unborn child based on these observations. What a job, right? One of the more scientific ways of predicting pregnancy during this time involved a needle and a vial of urine. The woman would urinate into a vial, and a needle would be placed into the liquid. If the needle rusted red or black, it was believed that the woman was pregnant. The idea was that certain changes in a pregnant woman's body, reflected in her urine, yet would cause the needle to rust. But the creativity of the medieval physicians didn't stop there. They also devised a test involving a mixture of urine and wine. Now, this wasn't a cocktail for a Friday night, but a serious attempt to understand whether a woman was pregnant. The wine was mixed with the woman's urine, and if the mixture became cloudy, it was considered a positive sign of pregnancy. This test might have been more accurate than you'd think. The alcohol in the wine could react with certain proteins present in the urine of a pregnant woman, causing the liquid to cloud over. So the Middle Ages saw a variety of urine-based tests, all with the aim of detecting pregnancy. It seems strange to us today, but back then, these methods were considered cutting-edge science. And surprisingly, some of these tests might have actually worked. The use of urine in diagnosing pregnancy set the stage for our modern pregnancy tests, which also rely on detecting certain substances in a woman's urine. The Middle Ages saw a variety of urine-based tests, some of which might have actually worked. Fast forward to the 20th century, when the world of pregnancy testing was revolutionized with the discovery of the human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG for short. This hormone, produced by the placenta after implantation, serves as a pregnancy marker and is found in the urine of pregnant women. It was only in the early 1920s when scientists first identified HCG, setting the stage for a whole new era in pregnancy testing. Before this discovery, pregnancy testing was a hit-or-miss affair, relying on a range of methods from sprouting grains to observing changes in urine color. But the identification of HCG brought a level of certainty that was previously unattainable. Suddenly, there was a biological marker that could reliably indicate whether or not a woman was pregnant. The first tests utilizing this hormone were conducted in the 1930s, but they were far from the simple home-based tests we're familiar with today. These early tests involved injecting a woman's urine into a female rabbit, then examining the rabbit's ovaries a few days later for changes. If the rabbit's ovaries showed changes, the woman was pregnant. This method, while effective, was quite invasive and time-consuming. As science progressed, so did the methods of detecting HCG. In the 1960s, a significant breakthrough occurred with the development of immunoassays, tests that used antibodies to detect the presence of HCG in a woman's urine. This paved the way for the first home pregnancy tests, which hit the market in the early 1970s. These tests used a strip of paper or a stick that, when dipped in urine, would change color if HCG was present. Today's pregnancy tests still work on the same principle, detecting HCG in a woman's urine. They are speedy, easy to use, and remarkably accurate, providing results within minutes. These modern tests are a far cry from the days of barley sprouts and onion breath, and we have the discovery of HCG to thank for that. The discovery of HCG marked a significant turning point in the history of pregnancy testing, bringing us to the reliable methods we use today. From grains and onions to hormones in urine, the journey of pregnancy testing through the ages is truly fascinating. We've traversed through time, exploring the myriad ways our ancestors used to unravel the mystery of pregnancy. Let's take a moment to reflect on this incredible journey. In ancient Egypt, the germination of barley and wheat grains soaked in a woman's urine was used as an ingenious method to not only detect pregnancy, but also to predict the gender of the unborn child. While the science behind it may seem questionable, it's intriguing to note that modern experiments have found a semblance of accuracy in this seemingly rudimentary test. We then journeyed to ancient Greece, where onions and honey played a pivotal role in pregnancy detection. The Greeks believed in the idea of an unobstructed womb, allowing the scent of an onion to reach a woman's breath, and the consumption of honey water, leading to bloating and cramps if a woman was pregnant. As odd as these methods may sound, they reflected the Greeks' understanding of the human body and its workings. The Middle Ages brought us piss prophets, individuals who claimed to discern pregnancy from the examination of a woman's urine. While it may seem far-fetched, it is interesting to note that some of these urine-based tests, like the needle rusting test and the wine mixing test, may have had some degree of success. Fast forward to the 20th century, when the discovery of the human chorionic gonadotropin hormone revolutionized pregnancy testing. This hormone, found in the urine of pregnant women, led to the development of the modern pregnancy tests we use today. From ancient grains to modern hormones, each step in this journey reflects humanity's enduring curiosity and ingenuity. It's a testament to our relentless quest for understanding, our desire to unlock the secrets of the human body, and our ability to adapt and innovate over time. So the next time you see a modern pregnancy test, remember the long and intriguing history that led to its creation.
Caught in the thrill of the game? Dive deeper with us. Hit subscribe to be the first to catch our latest content. To our loyal subscribers, your support is invaluable. Your engagement, likes, comments, shares propels us to push the boundaries. So immerse yourself, engage, and inspire us to continually evolve. Thank you for being part of our journey.